right, welcome in everybody to the Can We Kick It podcast. I'm your co-host Mike, along with Chuck here.
What up?
How's it going, Chuck?
Good, man. Good. Just returning from my quest down to Mexico. Like conquering hero like Kenny Powers.
Made it in the Triple A's in Mexico.
KP, Little Beach.
I can't wait for Gemstones. He's gonna be so good in that.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good time to rewatch some Danny McBride stuff. So
Yeah.
Like I've been just kind of in my like nighttime sleeping routine. I've been watching Eastbound and Down just to kind of prep. With Gemstones coming out the 18th, I'll probably start rewatching seasons 1 and 2 this week to prepare.
It's so good. Anything Danny McBride is in is so. I mean, we had a whole episode dedicated to the shit that he's in, but
yeah,
just
that's
so
right.
off the wall. So
one of
funny.
our was it one of our first 10 episodes? We
the
did a whole
McBride
Danny
universe
McBride thing. Yeah, brilliant.
That was a year ago.
We come a long way. And we've just been talking. We spent an hour and a half talking about Succession,
right.
And prestige TV type things, and so
got to get some of our guilty laughs out. Yeah, hopefully we can't
well,
get this fan going. It's hot.
I think it's a good time for kind of like rewatches or new shows that you can just throw on during the summer that are not too like intense or deep or
not too serious. Right? Yeah,
I think it's a great time for that, and I think both of us have started doing that. I know you've got the sailing yacht show.
Oh yeah, Below Deck Sailing Yacht.
Below Deck,
terribly good. Oh my gosh, full of drama.
Where are they at now?
They're in the Amalfi Coast, I think.
Oh
yeah, I think that's where they're at. Yeah. Or is that season 10 of Below Deck? There's so many right now going. I can't keep track, but yeah.
How come they never have Below Deck Galveston?
Oh,
or Below
never
Deck,
make it.
Below Deck Galveston.
Yeah. Dude, there's Below Deck Mediterranean, Sailing Yacht, Down Under, which is in Australia, and Adventure, which is like off the coast of Norway. So I'm really waiting for the Below Deck Corpus Christi.
It'd be kind of funny if they like did Below Deck Down Under, but it was like in like Antarctica or something, or no, not Antarctica, but like Greenland or some like the west coast of Canada or Alaska.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, just to confuse people.
Yeah, that's definitely a guilty pleasure one with our serious shows being out. It's like, okay, I'll pop this on, I'll yell at the TV because this guy's a fucking idiot, and then I'll move on to something else.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna talk about another show that we both watched, but my lately has been Manifest. So I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I brought this up on the show because Netflix Manifest was a 3-season TV show, and the pilot basically these people take off on a plane and the plane disappears, and 5 years later the plane shows up like out of the blue, and no one knows where they've been, right? So that's kind of the premise. And then I didn't watch it live when it was on NBC, but I watched it a couple of years ago on the NBC app or something, and I really loved it. And it was canceled, and Netflix brought it back for one gigantic season that was broken into 2 like 10 episode parts or something like that. And so I've been delaying watching it, but I didn't know it had broken into 2 parts. But anyway,
it's a Netflix staple. Let's break the finale up into 2 pieces. Yeah,
it's a new episodes, and I go and I'm like, oh crap, there's 20 episodes in this. And I was reading it was the last season. I'm like, okay, so I've been watching it over the last 3 days, and not disappointed at all. I mean, except for the finale was a little disappointing, but it made sense in this kind of like they like wrap a lot of stuff up a little bit, but which sometimes isn't always great, but you kind of get an ending to the stories. But it's like, when a show is so bad it's good.
Yeah.
But the premise is like really awesome, and like but it's network TV show and the acting is not that great.
Yeah.
It's just so corny, I guess. But it's a good show. I don't it's hard to explain.
Yeah, we have
And
a thing about like network TV shows, but it's interesting it got picked up by Netflix because the
mhm,
budget that they just I think we talked about this offline. The budget that they have, they just throw money at stuff,
yeah.
and it's like, oh, this is an actual like shooting studio and not like a single camera like studio. It's so ridiculous the difference between network television and like streaming stuff now.
But the funny part is it was still like it still looked like it was produced by like NBC for network TV. And they even and I know why they did this too, because they also had like commercial break points in there
Oh yeah.
because Netflix now has the commercials as well.
Ugh.
But with the first three seasons having, or you can get a Netflix plan with commercials, but the first three seasons being on network TV, they set up the fourth season similar. So I think too, once they sell it to like a Tubi or Freevee or one of those two with the commercials, it's already,
Yeah, chopped.
plotted
Yeah.
out like network TV.
Yeah.
So, um, or even now on Netflix with their commercial breaks. But
Yeah.
if you choose the lightest plan, but it was a satisfying conclusion for me. So I really that was my guilty pleasure this week.
Nice. I'm hoping to have
So
the same thing with Below Deck Sailing Yacht. I'm really hoping somebody falls in love and they're
yeah,
not just playing a game and they get off the boat and live happily. No way.
yeah.
I feel like you're just here for the zip line. I sent you a video on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it yet. We'll have to
So
share it
yeah,
on.
that's what's his name?
Yeah, comedian.
Tim. No, is it Tim Robinson?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
For those who haven't seen the
Well,
video, it's like The Bachelorette, and she's like, "I'm not picking you because we haven't connected, and I'm not picking you because I think you're just here for the zip
yeah,
line." And it's like this montage of him like flying into the pool on a zip line.
but that's
So
from
fun.
his show, right? Like he has
Yeah,
a show.
yeah.
I think is it on Netflix?
I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, he's funny. Um, but yeah, I think why don't they just name Below Deck like Bachelor on a Boat
yeah.
or Horny
It's
Young
all
People
Bravo.
Sailing
Like
Around the World?
I think it's all the same production company.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, not a lot of. I mean, there's stuff out there that we have to like that I want to watch that's new, but like
yeah,
just making my way around to it. If I'd stop rewatching The Office, which I'm never gonna do, but like I want to watch stuff like Bupkis, which is on Peacock, which is Pete
yeah,
Davidson and Joe Pesci, and it's kind of like a riff mockumentary on his own life. So kind of want to watch that, but
yeah. I've got to go back to Peacock and finish um the Poker Face. I watched like
yeah,
half of it, and it was really good actually. Natasha Leone is always really good and everything.
she's
So
funny. Yeah,
um I just got to go back and finish that. So I think we got some time.
yeah, I think we do.
uh
Because it's funny because I rewatched American Pie 2 and I forgot that she was in that. And I just couldn't stop laughing my ass off every scene she was in.
yeah, she was in she was in the first one too. I mean, she was
Yeah.
in America the whole
Yeah.
it's like always it's so funny because it seemed like she was like 10 years older than the rest of
It felt like it. Yeah.
hey, you guys, go to the she's like her
So
voice is so
funny.
unique, but so yeah, I mean there's so much content and
Yeah.
but stuff that we've been pushing off because of Succession, Barry, Ted Lasso. We're both watching Silo. We
Yep.
haven't watched this week's yet. And you said there was three books, and did you read all three books or the
I'm
first
almost
one?
done with the first one. I'm like
Ah,
70% of the way through. It's really good.
you have to
So
let me borrow it after.
I downloaded it on Libby, which is
Oh,
I don't know if people know about Libby, but it's like you hook up your library card, right? And you can
oh
download
yeah,
the audiobooks and stuff for free. So
yeah.
it's
Blanca has
totally
something
worth it
like
to do
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
Or the,
downloaded it on there. I'm like 70% of the way through. It's great. The first book is called Wool, like steel wool.
yeah.
And so it's a lot like the TV show. There are some differences. They are, I think they're taking the TV show in a different direction, but equally as good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think Blanca has a like an app for the Houston Library, the
Mhm.
Houston Public Library, where you can download um things for free. Like her library card is connected,
Yeah.
and but yeah, I need to check into that. I
Totally
like
worth
to
it.
read the book,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
It's
and
a
I
wool
like the hard
shift.
copy.
Oh, I know. It's so hard.
I
I'm like, I just want to finish the book so I can like know what's gonna happen before the series ends.
yeah.
And it's like I almost bought the book off of Amazon for like $15, and I'm like, wait, I get it for free. I'm gonna be able to listen to it faster. Just do it, Michael. Yeah, but I'm with you. Love physical copy.
Yeah, I should start getting audiobooks for like I started running again. Not as heavy as I was, but until I have my surgery probably in September. So I've started running again to not be a fat fuck and um run through a little bit of pain, but listen to podcasts and everything. So I did listen, listened to our podcast running yesterday, and then I listened to the Succession one fishing today. So this morning. So I'm with running, I'm like I run out of podcasts, so I listen to
Yeah.
ours too, and then listen to all the other ones I like. But I may have to get some audiobooks
Yeah.
pretty soon. But I think we both agree that we like Silo. Like I think
Yep.
it's kind of like most of the other Apple TV shows. I would say outside of Ted Lasso, there's a lot of good stuff, but it seems maybe lacking a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe, um,
Something something missing.
but
Yeah.
they have money, like
Yeah.
HBO. I mean, Apple has tons of money that they can throw at their TV shows, and so I mean, I'm sure like The Morning Show and Ted Lasso are huge budget
Yeah.
stuff, but um, so I'm enjoying that. If you have Apple TV, you should check that out. Oh, I was thinking with Apple TV, is there any news on a release date of For All Mankind season 4?
Mm, haven't seen one, but I'm gonna
I was
Google it
trying to
right
think of
now.
when season 3 ended. Was it like last fall?
It feels like it was.
Because it was definitely I think it was definitely last year when it ended, no?
Most likely late 23.
Or early.
Fortunately, filming has already wrapped.
Oh
So
wow.
not impacted by the writer strike. Thank goodness. I know
Oh
they got
wow,
their
that's
whole thing,
great.
and no disrespect to that, but not going to impact For All Mankind. Thank goodness.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. I got my brother and um his girlfriend Kelly watching it. Yeah, it
I get.
ended in two was it November
Yeah, I think it was
of last
November. Yeah.
no, hold on. Sorry, I was looking. I said November 2019.
Oh,
Um
I kid you not. I just thought about rewatching For All Mankind. I forgot how good that show is.
yeah.
Love the alternate
Um
timeline.
yeah, August 12th, 2022 was the season finale. Yeah, so we got to get cracking on that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I imagine they're gonna probably have to they're probably gonna have to put it out in 2003. Um
Yeah.
with some of the
23.
delays in the strike, unless
Yeah. Yeah.
so.
They've got this. Yeah, the content is done, right? You know, you're going to have a gap. You may as well put it out there, right?
Well, the other thing that I was like thinking about, and when I was listening to, so they started, the Writers Guild was allowing people to talk about their shows again on podcasts. So they basically, but you couldn't use any your publishers or anything. It had to be directly. It was weird, um, because Bill Hader was on talking about the last 3 episodes of Barry,
Nice.
and it was talking about how they came about talking about it, and since they like are friends, he's friends with the guy, they could do it versus like publicity, and now there's some guidelines that they put about
Yeah.
publicity for shows, but um he talked about even shows that were completed like before the strike, if there's like when they're in the post-production part, if there needs to be any rewrites or anything like that, then
Reshoots or yeah.
it has to, yeah. So, it's funny because um they reshot NoHo Hank's death scene in Barry after everything had wrapped.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then it was something it's something about the way that you have to go listen to it on the Prestige Pod with Sean Fennessy.
Yeah.
There's one about 6 and 7, there's a separate one for the finale. But he talked about how they did that, and it was something he was saying something or explaining something, and when he like people were telling him like in his writing room, in the production, was like, maybe we should just do it this way, and so that he said he called the actor and other people to reshoot the scene. They're like, oh, thank God. Like they didn't like it. It was just um but he also talked about how he decided Barry was gonna die.
Yeah.
And it was like him and Duffy Boudreaux, like his other person, they were like sitting around and something came up in like season 2, and he's like, I think Kusno will kill Barry. Like, I mean, there was like literally they were just, it was funny. Just, it's funny to hear the process of, we think that this great genius work in there, and it's all of a sudden it's like an idea, and it's okay. That sounds good.
Let's try that. Yeah. It's just slowly like pieced together. Yeah. It's not over put together overall,
Yeah.
right? It's just like, oh, this would be hilarious. And they slap it in. Yeah.
Well, and there's something in season 1 where they put this joke in there that they were gonna have throughout all the 4 seasons, and then it never came to fruition. But Fuchs said something like to Barry, "You want to end up like a spokesman for like a chicken shack or something," and that was the thing. He was going to be famous for like a commercial for a chicken fast food place, but they
Oh my
never
God.
went with
That's
it. But
great.
they set that up because and then they changed in the writing, right? So like, it's just fun to hear about the process of, even when, I think a lot of shows have an end goal in mind,
Yeah.
but how they're going to get there, or they have like kind of, it's like they either have the first season fleshed out and it's successful, and then they've got to figure out how to guide the plane, or they have like the end figured out, but they're
Yeah.
always tinkering on how they're getting there.
And it's great that they like the studio executives leave them pretty much to their own to like
Yeah.
finish their dream. I mean, they've been working on this for years, and you hate to see it, especially in movies. Like studios will step in and be like, no, 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 that's not the ending we want. Rewrite it. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, what the? So knowing Bill Hader, he and his crew and all the writers and stuff, they figured it out. And the studio, I would bet, let them just run on their own. So that's good.
Yeah. No, and it's good when they allow them to do that
Yeah.
versus try to influence what's going on.
Yep.
And the other thing that we've both been watching is Jury Duty on Amazon Prime or Freevee or whatever. You told me about this.
Yeah.
I saw it like, because we don't have regular cable, so I'd always see it pop up in, on when I turn on the TV on the Amazon home screen, and it's fucking fantastic.
Brilliant. So good.
I'm like, I want another season,
Yeah.
but like with a different person, but I don't think it'll be as good.
How can you spin it? Like, yeah, I don't think you can do it again. Like,
Yeah.
it has to be a completely different concept. But I heard about it from Tony, right? Who was,
Yeah.
one of my groomsmen at the wedding. And he was like, hey, you gotta
Tony.
watch this. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get around to it. And then I watched the first one and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? It was hilarious. Right. So
Yeah.
for people who don't know, right, Jury Duty is like a mockumentary almost. It's a live shot documentary where about a trial, right, and the jury process, but everybody is an actor except one guy on the jury who's a
Mhm.
normal person, and they're all interacting with him and being different people and all the shit, and it's hilarious. And the guy
Yeah.
has genuine reactions to stuff, and you know, he finds out at the end, but it's so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, because I mean, the last episode kind of goes back and gives you all the kind of
Yeah.
the detail behind it. And there was apparently like it looked like something that was posted on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, like need paid opportunity. We need one person to be involved with a study on jury duty or
Yeah.
whatever. And this guy submitted a video and he's like 6'6", like he's freaking Greg
Tall.
Hirsch from Succession.
Succession.
He's super tall and he's like the kindest person, like the nicest guy, but also like a normal, like just like a normal guy, like as a solar panel installer or
Yeah.
salesman or
Yeah.
just as regular Joe. And I think that's a brilliant part of it because he gives kind of hope to humanity, like the situations that come up. He's just regular guy and he becomes like foreman of the jury because
He
the judge
doesn't want to
nominates
be.
him. He doesn't want to be it, but the judge nominates it and he like takes it really seriously. Like,
Yeah.
the judge entrusted me to do like, but he's and just and he covered there's a part where he becomes friends with James Marsden, like who
So
is
good.
an actor that
He's
he
playing
plays
himself.
himself and
Yeah.
he's just like
He's acting it up. Yeah.
yeah. And like he cut like the what was his name again? I forget his name, but the he like covers up everything for James Marsden.
Oh yeah.
It was like
Ronald. Yeah.
Ronald. And when
Yeah.
there's a bathroom thing and he's like, yeah, that's mine. Like, and you're like, what? Because he like
Marsden's
James
like
Marsden's like,
doesn't want the press to find out that he
yeah,
took a giant shit.
yeah, yeah. It's and clog the toilet. It's
Oh,
so
dude, yeah.
but he's I don't know, he gives kind of and there's a part in it where James Marsden they're throwing a birthday party for someone at a park and he comes in he's all pissed off eating at the park and he's destroying things and like Ronald is like literally upset that his friend is doing that and then they end up like having a talk and he's like and James Marsden apologizes but it's like real it's like the guy is like he's just such a good guy.
9 times out of 10, it'd be a big old sleaze bag. Like,
Yeah,
who would do
yeah,
the exact, probably in my mind, what I would probably do and like be an asshole. But like,
yeah.
yeah, like he befriends the tech nerd guy who has the crutches ass pad, who like uses it as a seat,
Chair
like,
pants.
and he's like his like next door neighbor
Yeah.
because they get
Oh yeah.
sequestered, and
Yeah.
he's like so nice to him, and it's like this guy's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. He's just like except there's so many different people, weird people.
So
He just accepts everybody and is
yeah,
like gets along with everybody. And like I mean there's we don't want to give too much
no,
away, so we just recommend watching it. But um my one of my so like there's one actor on there that I immediately recognized, and I probably recognized him for a different reason than most people, but he was on Parks and Rec, like in a few, not like a lot, but and Ronald apparently was a big Parks and Recs fan, and like I'm like, how do you not notice him?
you know?
But I've watched Parks and Rec a million times, and I did not associate him with that.
Oh man.
But so you didn't watch Community, did you?
No, no. But I knew who he
So
was right off the bat for Parks and Rec. He was the trash
yeah,
department guy,
yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's in one episode of Parks and Rec, or in one episode of Community, and Britta in Community, like she dated a guy who's the Kirk guy. Um, he was he worked at a traveling carnival, and his name was Blade, and like. So they spend the whole episode. Joel McHale's character is like just so like infatuated with how like why what makes like what this guy does to make Britta go crazy like
Yeah.
about him because she realizes that his circus is coming back in town, and so she's like, "Take my phone, lock me up in the room," and they're all trying to keep him doing, and like, and she's like trying to call it. She cons to get the phone back, and she's trying to call. There's a whole shenanigans. So he goes to the carnival and he's talking to him like, "What's your secret?" And so like at first he's like, you know, like a magician never reveals a
Yeah.
secret, but then later on he tells a secret, and it's like he got hit in the head by a bolt from like the Ferris wheel, like and it like messed up his like shame part of his brain or like caring, so he didn't care. Like it's just so wild. But he's in the show for like one episode, and every time I see him I'm like, Blade. And it's like, but he was in Parks and Rec more. But that's what, as soon as I saw him pop on the screen, I'm like, if I was in that jury, I'm like, I know something's wrong. Because
Right.
but the bailiff's funny,
Oh
like
yeah.
she's just like uh
Y'all
I
racked
mean
up a
every
$1,500 bill for dinner, and I'm over here eating a hamburger by myself. Like, they
they
get Marsden to pay for it.
they get Marsden to pay for the food or Marsden volunteers to pay for the food at the food truck because he's trying to get the judge to get him out of jury duty. Hey, judge, like,
You want
yeah, and
anything? I'll
then
buy it. I'll buy it. I don't talk to jurors.
yeah,
Dude, I love, like, there's so many underlying jokes. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but just like the I can't remember his name, the nerdy guy. Like,
yeah,
oh, his like girlfriend, he like is on gets jury duty, and his girlfriend is on vacation in the Bahamas, and she's with her friends, like Brooke, Claire, and Cody, and they're
Cody,
like,
yeah.
"Yo, Cody sounds like a guy's name," and he's like, "What? No."
It's
Then
so
they,
funny because she's just the this girl who's like constantly hitting on him, or
yeah, she's like, "I
like
want to
through the
corrupt him.
jury.
He's so innocent."
Yeah, like she's like, oh, we'll find out. And she like makes friends with the lady who works at the metal detector, and they're like going through the Instagram. It's like the picture, and Cody's like some like cut dude.
With like half a cucumber in his pants. It's so funny, dude.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that the picture is like, yeah, it's
Dude, yeah, and like they have a witness on the stand, and his middle name is Cody, and everybody like looks at the guy in the jury box.
he goes, that's a middle name.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Yeah,
Oh my god, dude.
it's
Yeah.
dude, it's like literally laugh out loud funny. Like the first couple episodes, I was like, we're sitting on the couch watching. I was like crying.
Oh,
It's
dude,
so good.
it's so good. Yeah, they added like I just like how Marsden plays himself, but like dialed up.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
when that guy was found out his girl was in like Bahamas with a guy named Cody, Marsden's like, "Hey, it's cool. Like she'll go down to Bahamas for the week. She'll get reamed out, and then it'll
yeah,
be okay."
yeah.
He's like, "I'm a celebrity. I know." Oh my god,
But
dude.
it with Marsden, like I knew him from like one of the Spider-Mans, I think, early on, and then no, that was Franco. Never
X-Men.
mind.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't watch X-Men or anything, but I knew him from like Westworld. I'm
Oh
trying
yeah,
to think
yeah.
of, but he's like he keeps saying like he was in the Notebook, but he's not. He's the other guy.
He was the other
Like
guy. Yeah.
he's they're listing off movies, and like they're like nobody can name a movie that he's been in or something.
uh
Like it's just wild.
do you know any movies this guy was in? Yeah, he was
Yeah.
in X-Men and 27 Dresses. And Marsden's like, "Yo, don't lead with X-Men. It's terrible." Like, but yeah, it's funny because he mentions like Sex Drive, which was a movie he was in. He was
Oh yeah, they.
hilarious in it.
So I gotta watch that. I've never seen that, right? And
It's so
so,
good.
but that's the funny thing too is that they like doesn't Ronald show up with a DVD of Sex Drive?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know how we got that being sequestered, but that was
yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah. Maybe it was before they were sequestered. I think it was like maybe the
Yeah.
second day
Or
they came back.
or maybe they went to when they went shopping for like the birthday shit, or because they went to the store a couple of
Yeah.
times. Oh yeah, to take the tech guy to like get him a new wardrobe and stuff. Like I got him like new
Go
sneakers
to the
and
mall.
yeah. Well, I do like Mars. It was like, did you rent or buy Sonic the Hedgehog? And he's like, oh, I watched it on Hulu. And he's like, oh, I would have got
Yeah.
$1 if you bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't recommend Jury Duty enough. It's so hilarious. And that's like a third of the people. That's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
we've said some funny things, but we've remembered. I mean, there's some things that we could say that would like be too detailed or like,
yeah.
but it's just definitely it's such a great show.
It's a heartfelt
it-
show. You question if it's real, which I did a lot of research into it, and the guy literally like he thought it was super weird after day 2 that all these people are
Yeah.
acting like fucking weirdos, but like he had no idea. And it was just it literally. I don't think I've laughed out loud that much at a TV show in a long time.
Yeah, he kept going, man, this is so weird. Like, but
I could
it's
make a reality movie after this, like joking about how like
Yeah.
all these characters are so weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a fun watch.
Quick, easy burn, 10 episodes, I think, and it's like 30-minute episodes, maybe. It's a quick
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. So I recommend it's a very quick watch.
Yep.
So
You finished 100-Foot Wave, right? That finished what, last week or the week before that?
I finished like a week or two before Succession, and
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah. So I highly recommend that, of course. So it's I don't know if there'll be another season, because I mean, maybe it just seems like it was kind of ending, but it seems pretty popular enough that it'll keep going. But
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised.
so yeah.
Nice.
But now we gotta find other guilty pleasure shows to watch or do some rewatches, and not a lot of stuff that I'm interested in besides Gemstones here.
Yep.
Soon. So
Black Mirror's coming back on.
oh yes, that too.
The Bear season 2. That's June
Yeah.
22nd. And then
yeah, so some good stuff coming up.
they're spaced out pretty good, because then Jack Ryan on the 30th. So there's a like 2 weeks apart. There's something new dropping. So it'll be a nice turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anything else you want to discuss?
No, I think we keep it short and sweet for this week.
Yeah, I think so.
Since this is our second episode this week.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but appreciate everybody for kicking it with us this week. Be sure to check out all the podcast platforms. We're there. Check out our Instagram at Can We Kick It Pod. Check out our website, kickitmedia.com. And you can always email us at canwekickitpod1@gmail.com. Almost forgot. And
Yeah.
as Chuck likes to always say,
Mahalo.